Welcome to What's Next with Mattel Creations, where we talk with thought leaders to discover what's next in art, toys, and entertainment. I'm Nick Karamanos, SVP of Mattel Creations, and I'm here today at VCon with Rafa Macias, a great partner and friend from Universal. Welcome.
Thank you, Nick. So great to be here with you.
Great to have you. All right, so Rafa, folks, is the Executive Vice President and Global Commercial Officer of Universal Consumer Products. And Mattel Creations has partnered with Rafa, his team, with Universal on Jurassic World collector product, Monster Heist collector dolls, and releasing later this year, Wicked Dolls, a film that is gaining incredible momentum. I can't wait to see it.
No one can. It's one of the biggest spends that we've done as a studio, and there's so much excitement about this movie. It's truly going to be a cultural moment for the world.
The trailer, I believe, that was released, or a couple of them that have been released, show an incredible world. Just an amazing world that John Chu has constructed. What was that like as you were hearing the word within Universal and understanding how it was developing, the level of excitement that grew from that?
That's a great question, because it's one of the first things that I got exposed to when I joined Universal.
Yeah.
You know, these things take time to create. So I remember I was like a month and a half in, and they said, Rafa, we're meeting with all the top partners to show them Wicked, but you're going to go to London to the set to host partners, right? Amongst them, Mattel. Mattel joined us in their early view. And it was all real sets. Right? It was all what John Chu and Mark Platt have created. It's truly unique because it's a real world. Like for Munchkin Land, they planted 8 million physical tulips to recreate the land. So Cheese University, Emerald City, they're all real sets. So the meeting went great. We had a little panel, and a partner approached to me and said, like, Rafa, this is so immersive, so great to be in a real set. He said, the last time you brought me to a movie set, it was 3 green walls with a rock in the middle. So I'm like, well, yes, we've definitely come a long way. But just the practicality of the sets, it adds to how impressive it's going to look in theaters.
I can't wait. The buzz is building. It will be incredible. All right, so let's talk a little bit first about our collaborations on Mattel Creations. Our Monster Heist Collector Series pays homage to icons in horror. We've collaborated with Universal on Bride of Frankenstein, Chucky, and Tiffany, and more. What character for you do you want us to reimagine next?
Oh, my God. Finally, you asked.
Yeah. It took us coming together at VCon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a personal love for the horror, the classic Universal monsters. I fell in love with how deep these characters were. Like, they're all misunderstood creatures, trying to either fight cravings like Wolfman, or trying to be understood and accepted like Frankenstein's monster. Yeah. So I would say, personally, I would love to see a Wolfman collector's queue. But the one that I'm happiest about is the 70th anniversary Creature of the Black Lagoon that we did. That's my favorite so far.
Amazing.
But I love that we're bringing these authentic, horror icons to our fans.
It is amazing how much horror properties Universal has, and your own personal, as you mentioned, attraction to horror. I cannot watch a horror movie. I cannot. I saw The Exorcist once. I've seen a couple. I can't watch. How are you able to sit through it, enjoy it, love it? You mentioned you started it maybe younger.
Yeah.
But you've sustained that love as you've gotten older. How is that? And does your family love horror as much as you do?
I always thought my son would pick it up and we would go to these movies together. He couldn't care less about horror movies. Yeah. My daughter, though, she likes the genre as well. So she's my goat. My wife hates them. So my daughter has followed on my liking. But it was, besides those movies, Universal has been the home of horror for the last 100 years. Yeah. But not only those classic monsters, but as you've seen, some of the new reimagining of horror with Megan, Black Phone, even some classics as The Thing, Chucky of the 80s, Chucky's of the 90s, and now great storytellers in the horror, like Jason Blum, have made Universal their home, right? We're their studio of choice for creators. Jordan Peele with Monkey Paw, Blumhouse House set home in Universal. So it's going to continue not only paying homage to those classic monsters, but the next generation of horror stories. So I'm at the right place, I would say.
What do you think it is about fans now these days that they are looking for horror movies as much as they are, and the different kinds of horror that Universal has, as you just mentioned? What do you think fans are why do we think fans are as much into horror as they are today? It feels like it's at an all-time high.
It is. You see the box office that we've seen for these movies, right? It's outpacing other genres. I think it's part of that human need of escapism, like experience a different world, go to your most primal fears. And also not only on our movie slate, but for more than 30 years we've been celebrating Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Parks, and that's also grown, right, Reg? If you remember, it used to be a Halloween experience.
Right.
And it's exciting because there's going to be, for the first time ever, an all-female cast of a haunted house.
Wow.
And then we're doing a Latin American mythology-inspired one. Last year we did like classic mythology. This year we're doing a mashup between Lucha Libre and classic monsters.
Amazing.
So it's a homage to, I grew up watching El Santo and Blue Demon contra los monstruos. So the Latin-inspired maze for this year, Luchadores Monstruosos, is going to be amazing.
And have you seen the level of fandom throughout the world in equal doses? It's not just a North America or a Latin America phenomenon. You're seeing it all around the world.
We are, and we're able to test it out.
Yeah.
We got a Universal Studio Park in China, one in Japan, one in Singapore. So we're seeing the biggest engagement is in North America, Latin America, UK is big, Japan is huge on horror. But it's a different level of horror. That's really creepy.
It is.
But they enjoy it too. So we're seeing it in different stages around the world, but definitely getting traction.
That's amazing. I went by I think it was the Blumhouse in Tokyo, and it looked incredible and incredibly creepy as well from the outside. It completely made you stop in the street.
I love you say that because this year we're doing, the studio tram that's been on for 60 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be Blumhouse. Enter the Blumhouse. So I won't spoil anything, but you should definitely check it out. It's in Universal Studios
right
Hollywood.
here. Oh my gosh. All right, folks, you heard that. You got to go to Universal this fall. It's going to be incredible how they're turning it into Blumhouse. All right, so let's go back to Wicked for just a second. So we've partnered, it's coming out this fall. Mattel has product coming out as well, but Mattel Creations is also perhaps doing something that we're not just going to reveal yet, but maybe give us a little hint, a little tease, Rafa, about what folks might be seeing from Mattel Creations, Universal, and Wicked.
All right. This is where you get me in trouble, Nick.
All right.
So I can't hold my excitement. So I think what I can say is that the creation that we're doing between Mattel Creations and Wicked is one of the most powerful moments from the movie. But what I think it's most important is that our Wicked Mattel Creations item is a true representation of what Mattel Creations stands for.
That's great.
It's toys as art, art's inspired by toys. It's going to delight both Mattel Creation fans and Wicked fans. Can't wait for them to know what that item is. But it's a true expression of what Mattel Creation stands for.
I love it. All right, folks, we will let you know when that happens, but you heard it from Rafa first. It is coming, and it's going to be amazing. I want to go personal for a second with your career. So you've had a long, distinguished career. Talk about kind of a piece of advice you'd give someone, kind of young folks around here. Many of them are starting to work. They're in their 20s. They've had some experience. What's a piece of advice you'd give folks as they working in their career, how they should approach their career, what they should think about between work and life and kind of everything that we're going through?
I love those questions. We actually just finished our summer intern project. So we had a bunch of really brilliant students from around the world coming to spend the summer with us at Universal.
Right.
So, but the advice I always give is to pay attention, right? Like all the answers are usually there. So make sure that you're curious, that you're asking why, why, know how should we do this? Is there a better way? Just being curious. Don't worry just about what you're doing, but the bigger, how that contributes to a bigger purpose, right? No matter what, how small your job is, to really lean into it and understand what part it plays, so you can make recommendations. But being curious and asking questions is one thing that I've seen is really successful.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think people, regardless of where they are in their career, that do that always add value. They're looking to add value. They're being helpful, and you'll be the one who gets picked for the next assignment, or for added help, and it helps to pay dividends as you go through. All right, we have a magic 8-ball here. It's the world's best fortune teller. If you could ask that magic 8-ball anything.
Oh my God. First, I have to tell you a story about the magic 8-ball, because we had one growing up, and I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. So they would always use that to inflict pain in me, because they would I would say, hey, can I play? No, being the third, you're like they're on their own, they do everything, and so they would always, I would say, can I play video games with you? I said, I don't know, let's ask the 8-ball. And they would do can Rafa play video games with us? Most likely not. I'm like, don't do this to me. Or they would take a toy and should I return the toy? And they're like, I want to return your toy, but let's see what the magic 8-ball has to say. Oh my God. So anyway,
that's amazing.
I love seeing that. That should be in every household across the world.
That's amazing.
But since we're at Beacon, and we've been having so many conversations about NFTs and technologies and world changing, I would ask the 8-ball, will the tokenization of real-world assets revolutionize the future investment strategy?
Oh, that is a high-level question.
Let's see. 8-ball says very doubtful. Well, I now know where not to put my money then.
Well, good thing you learned it from the magic 8-ball versus actually finding it out the hard way, right?
I know. I could have lost my life savings.
Exactly. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. And if you don't like the answer, of course, you can always reshake it again and get the answer you want.
Well, that's what I thought, because my brothers never let me see the actual answer.
Right.
So I think whatever it said, they would just say most definitely not.
Most definitely not. Whatever they wanted you to hear is what they told you. All right, final question, and we'll keep it in the what would you family. If you could play Uno with anyone, dead or alive,
oh my God, I would. This is getting a little personal, but I love playing Uno with my daughter, who's now away at college. So any opportunity that I can to spend time with her, I think if it was someone alive, it would definitely be my daughter. And someone, can it be fictitious as well?
Even better. Yeah.
I would love to play Uno with Jason from Friday the 13th.
From Friday the 13th, yeah.
Not Mike Myers.
Yeah. I will not be present for that, but that's okay. That's
especially if there's a knife next to me.
Yeah.
See who wins.
That is your ideal for sure. And as we wrap up, how excited are you for 2025? There's a lot of big things coming.
There's a lot going on in 25. I would say for Universal 25 is going to be really epic. We have an amazing movie slate that has How to Train Your Dragon, live action reimagining, the next movie in the Jurassic World series, which we're partners on that. That's going to be huge. We have on the horror side, we got Megan 2. And in the other spectrum, we have Gabby's Dollhouse, our preschool show, the movie, which is not just a movie-length episode, but a live-action hybrid movie that's going to be very, very exciting. Also, we have, we love celebrating anniversary, so we got Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary, and Jaws, a 50th anniversary. And, we're the studio that actually made a whole generation afraid of getting in the water. So we're going to celebrate all year long with amazing products. We even have, and I'll get you tickets, we're doing on-the-water night screenings of the movie.
Oh, my God.
Where something might or not brush your leg as you're watching the movie in the ocean with your friends. So I don't know why anyone would do that. That's terrifying, but they'll do it.
That's going to be amazing.
And then on the park side, we actually have the opening of our newest theme park in Orlando, Epic Universe. Yeah. That has 5 new lands, including a How to Train Your Dragon Land, another Wizard World of Harry Potter Land, Super Nintendo World, and for the first time, a full land dedicated to horror that is called Dark Universe. And I think that's going to be a hit.
Oh my
with
God.
people, because it's the first time a theme park land dedicated to horror.
Incredible.
So excited. It's coming on 25. And then Wicked Part 2, where we're again partnering to delight fans around the world.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an epic year for Universal next year. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rafa, thank you for joining us.
Nick, thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate the friendship and the partnership.
Likewise. Take care. See you, everybody.